Hello, here is an AYD League game that had lots of interesting fights, and in the end black won by 5.5. I think this game could go both ways. Let's check it out. I'm always a little bit reluctant to play a Komoko like d3 because obviously black will go for the top left corner and then black can attack very nice on the left side. So as white it's more interesting to play the Hoshi, and then if black goes for c16 the Komoko will be r4 instead of q3. So like this, white's Komoko is facing his own corner instead of the black corner. And if white plays q4, then let's say again black will go for the top left corner. White is not going to choose d3 because this is obviously nice for black, but go c4 instead. So it's more interesting for white to take the Hoshi first and then consider which 3-4 corner should continue. So black obviously attacks coming from the top left corner, which is good. White defends calm, that's also fine. Black is speeding up the Fuseki with this approach. Actually, locally is good enough to play c8 and just be patient. Also, a Shimari in the top left corner, it's an option. And of course, the Sun evasion. These are the moves that black can consider right now. But it's nothing wrong to play r6 actually, to be a little bit faster, especially when you play an even game against 6 or 7.5 Komi. So white does the same. Now we have a very popular Joseki, the Tsuke, and keep the corner. So far so good. And now black is Sente, double approach. Excellent play so far. Okay, we have another basic Joseki here. In fact, with this cut, white is going for the alpha ghost style Joseki in order to take a Ponuki. Usually here white will just block the corner, defend, and when black extends on the side, white will pincer. If black extends on this side, there's a cutting point that's quite annoying, so white will play these kind of moves to fix the bottom, and then black again will extend on the right side. These are also quite popular, but yeah, playing the cut it's fine because the ladder is good for white right now. But in order to make sure black is not going to play some ladder breaker around the top, it's good for white to capture the stone right now. This will finish the position. White gets a very thick shape on the outside. And white doesn't need to play the Nobi exchange here because this is clearly an Ajikeshi. To play this exchange, we lose some potential Aji in the corner at r3. So it's better for white to skip this exchange, just fix the problem and take the stone. This would be the end of the Joseki. Overall, this feels a little bit better for black because black got the points in the corner and white has some thickness on the outside, but black can still approach here later on. Anyway, white played this exchange and then goes for the right side, which is good. But as long as this black can escape, black can play some ladder breakers in the top, which will happen. So defend calm. Now another modern Joseki. Now here when you play q14, obviously white will Atari and you gotta connect. But if you play the connection solid and white connects underneath, now you can choose whether you want to play Nobi or you want to go with Keima or just go down in the top. Probably in this case still Nobi, so it doesn't make such a big difference. But every time it's an Atari, you're committed to connect. And like this, you still have options to consider other moves. Not necessarily push here, but the push is actually good. White will answer, and for example, if black plays a Keima like this, and white defends, then Atari under, white captures, and black Nobi, in the end, this right side is kinda ruined. But of course, this is the ladder breaker. The ladder breaker could be played also at h16. So when white captures this guy, black simply separates like that. It's good to remember that shoulder hit. But this is fine too. So white was obviously aware of the ladder breaker, so if white answers here, black will come out and then the fight can be quite complicated on the right side. So white is going for the right, black separates the top, and this results into a good opening for black. So now white has to run a little bit, but about this d12 move, I would play in the top instead, just Kosumi, come out with weaker stones. It's true black has the option to play Atari at e18 and connect under eventually, but it's more interesting to go out with a Kosumi because it also puts pressure on J17 stone. So when white plays here, black can continue with shoulder hit and Nobi. And also, after you come out, you can also think about this Keima to put pressure on the top. So first things first, play from the weaker stone to make them stronger. If white simply jumps here, then you put pressure in the top and try to kill this guy on a larger scale, and all of a sudden you make this territory. Oops, I wasn't really trying to. More like this. Big box in the top. So Keima, white comes out. It's still okay to play the Kosumi here, but yeah, get ahead on the 4 line. And white goes for a base. This is maybe a little bit too much. The Kosumi would be proper, and next you think about the shoulder hits. If white comes out, no problem. You just go out with Keima. White defends, most likely, so the group is safe. And then, let's see, jump out. To attack this group in the lower top left corner on a larger scale. So now this is full of cuts. The shape is kind of thin. Obviously white will push through. It was good to connect G17, at least you have the backup connection underneath at E18. Then Atari. Now probably it's good to play the peep first to stay connected. White will always connect here with a bamboo joint, so white can continue C13, but that's not such a big deal. Now you have two options. One is to connect and then Hane, and the other option is to play Atari and Atari again. If white plays a double Atari, you will just take the Ko, and this is a Sente defense. Then you continue the attack on the left side. Let's see how. This and Keima. Anyway, there is the backup connection at E18 all the time, so this group is just heavy now. Now let's see what happened in the actual game. So this is like the first important critical fight of the game. Hane, that was brave, and Atari. On the Hane, white can actually cut right away. This Atari white can accept, no problem, there are lots of cuts. Then black might play like in the game, Atari here and connect underneath. This move is Sente. And having so many cuts, it's easy for white to fight in the top. So white played the bamboo, which is a little bit slow. Right now, black will Atari, that's good. But the connection should be G14, that's more important. If white cuts here, it's not such a big deal, you can even jump in the top. Actually, right now, white should worry about his life, so probably a move like this Kosumi, and then block this way to stay alive in the top. But if this happens, you can still play this move and surround the other group. And now probably the game, it's about to finish here because all this group, it's trapped inside. So it's more important to connect the big groups, the important ones, than just two stones. And actually these two stones, they are not so easy to be captured. I mean, white has all these moves, but it's mostly to survive in the top. So black connects here, white finally cuts, Atari connect, then you gotta capture the top, this is all forced. Now it's proper to defend like that, but you can also take away liberty. It might be later on in a semi, it can make a difference. Of course, black needs to defend somehow. If black plays away, white has Atari and simply go down and those three stones are captured. So those are keystones, but you can play here. Playing in the top, it's solid and proper, no co-threads, but that liberty, we never know when it comes into play. So here white makes life, black blocks, and white goes down. White doesn't need this move. White can come out. Because the group in the top, it's already alive. Even if black plays here, white has this move. If black goes down, white plays this one. So the life and death situation, it's quite clear. It's enough space inside, it's more like 8 liberties inside than 5 or 6, so white doesn't have to worry. This was a very slow move, which means black's block at 018, it's also not necessary. So right now, black should play a jump here to make sure the top stones are safe and still keep the pressure on the large group. So if white plays this and Atari and go down, that group is kind of surrounded and only like one eye. So the block was Sente, but it shouldn't be. Then Tsuke. This leaves some cuts, so it's a bit better to play just one space jump, and when white pushes, you Hane or Nobi, and let white run a little bit on neutral points, then you get a much more solid formation. So now Tsuke, cut. Things got complicated here. I think black can just play this move. And then here you come out, it connects, and you play some Keima. So cut, then double Atari. This is like the second critical fight of the game. I'm not sure about this Atari. It looks safer to play just Nobi. Still tough for white to escape. This is not so great. So Atari can lead to a Ko fight. Nobi is good. Then capture the Ko, it's fine. And on this move, black feels. What if black just cuts? White can take, black connects, white connects, and then black can still try to surround everything. This Atari and push through doesn't matter because this will give black territory on the left side, and it's still not an eye. White needs to play here to make an eye in Gote. And to try to come out, white needs to play this move, then push, cut, Atari go out, and then block. You answer all the Ataris. And who's dying faster? Oops. White, it's out. Not so easy to surround, by the way. So probably connecting, it's a fine option. Oh yeah, and then white almost leaves. But at some point, black could capture some stones and kill everything. So now we go to the third critical moment of the game. Yeah, around here. So white pushes once, pushes again. It's good white play the Atari, but you gotta count the liberties. I mean, obviously black has 4, so white keeps pushing to make 4 in Sente and then win the semi. So you cannot Nobi here, and it forced to play just Hane. Because once you Hane, he's got 3 liberties. So if he tries Hane, you just go here, push Atari. But I guess white will cut. And this cut doesn't work. You have Atari first. You don't need to extend and lose 3 stones, or defend 3 stones and lose the one on the left. You have time to play Atari first, white comes out, Atari again, white comes out, and then you just catch this stone in a net. So now all the important stones for black are connected and safe, and white is remained with 3 liberties. So this means when Hane, you Hane, when push Atari, when Atari capture, so this group has only like 1 eye if white plays this move. This will mean white dies in Gote, so he's not going to do that. Therefore, at this point, black can actually win the game. I mean, you kill like a quarter of the board, about 100 points, so what happens from here on, it doesn't matter. Black will win big. But once you push like this, white could actually even push one more time. Because now he has this peep in Sente for later on, and then Hane. So it's 4 against 4, white plays first, white wins the semi. Then it's difficult for black actually. Now, the game should be okay for white, but it's still kind of close. Lot of potential. This Hane doesn't do much. Normally, black should go up, threatening a push and cut. So usually here, white will play this move, black comes out, then white can go into the center, but the corner is already safe, so I guess white will play, for example, a pincer here to force black come out, then this will reduce the bottom potential. And then white should play moves like that to increase the right side and attack this group, use the edge of the 3 stones in the middle in order to attack the other cluster of stones. So this should be going well for white. The opening was very good for black, and there were some opportunities to just finish the game on the left side fight. Now all of a sudden the game is back to open result. So this connection, it's Gote and not so big. White can just play here. Then when black comes out, peep once, and then make the eye shape and go into the middle. It's okay. This is okay. The shape is good for black. And black has C2. So when you play this kind of move, white can just go here, and Atari, he'll come out with this move threatening the cut. You gotta double up, then make some light shape into the center. But if you play the peep, and white blocks here, you come out and take away the ice. If white plays this way, you don't cut, because this will be a ko. You just go back and connect. And white's eyes disappear. So the vital point is actually c2, not the clamp, but b2. A little bit better. White turns to go out. It's okay for white to try this move, because this is threatening a cut. With the turn, it's just a push from behind. So this will give black territory on the fourth line, which is nice. This jump is good, a little bit dangerous. So black needs to turn here in Sente anytime. Then either play Atari or Nobi, or simply capture this guy to stay safe. This is important too, because you want to catch the other stones in the middle, but white can fight. Yeah, maybe it's too much for white to come out like this. The thing is, white can come out to the right, either here or here, and try to put the other group in danger. Now black found a pretty good way to catch those stones. That's okay. But first things first, should turn in Sente. This will help you with the eye shape on the left side. White needs to capture this group, and then you can block like this or like this. It's much stronger. In fact, tight capture like that. If white turns, you turn. If white pushes here, you block. The cut doesn't work because you have Atari. If white plays here, we cannot cut because it's self Atari, so must take. White plays this one. Then we have Atari here. How is the situation with the eye shape? Oh, that can be a little dangerous. Okay, so on this move, you just connect, keep the left side safe. Then when white captures here, protect the other group in the top. Things got a little bit complicated. Yeah, white had to play this move. Actually, for white, it's more interesting to push the other way, because this will take away the eye space, and then push through and push again. This is actually a nice Dame Tsumari when white plays here, Atari from the outside, and then capture this guy. So this in Sente. Black doesn't need to connect underneath now, because black has Atari here. When white pushes, you block and you're connected under. White needs to come back if he wants to keep the attack going, so he'll connect, and then you just capture the two stones. If he pushes here, you block, and when he cuts, no problem, you can take the three stones anytime. So that's an easier way, because in the end, when you play a move like b6, it's mostly one eye or half an eye, because later on white can hane here and then hane again, or just connect and you gotta go down to make the second eye. So push through, and again, yeah, you must catch those stones. So now, yeah, the group on the left side it's alive, but there's some trouble in the top. It's more interesting to jump here to secure the top and then jump in the middle, because this kind of tsuke normally doesn't cut white. You gotta go back and then white protects. Cross cut was a little bit too much, and here white messed up. White should just capture the stone right away. Like this, white doesn't leave any other code threats or forcing moves like it happened in the game. And in the game, actually, white missed the Atari on the whole group, and that put black back in the game. So let's see what happened. This Kema is good. Push it's also good. Then jump in the middle to increase that area. So now white looks safe. This is big as an endgame. This jump is too much. Normally just Kosumi to stay connected and then push or capture this guy. But playing like that, black can just cut. So here black is making nice territory. The pip is very good and surround everything. Capture those 4 stones on a large scale for now, which was really good. Wait a second here. So you can play the wedge. If cut, Atari from the outside, take, Atari again, connect, and now just connect here. So those 4 stones are still captured on a very large scale. Yeah, this extension is good. Obviously you don't want to play here and allow white come out. That was bait. This is fine. So white captures that stone. I mean the 2 stones. You can block here, he takes, and then you block here. You must connect to stay alive in the top. And now, in order to get rid of the Aji with a cut, you just play this kind of move. So for sure, these 4 stones will not escape. And also, he doesn't connect underneath. So what happened here, the shape is already a little bit thin, and white got lots of liberties, which means black can still play this, or even without the sacrifice, and then either play this one, so when white pushes, you block and it's all safe, or play this one. Okay, black captured 1 stone, white pushed. At this stage, the bamboo, it's a better shape, because if white plays this, you play here. If white plays this, you cut. If white plays, you connect, push through, you connect, and if cut, you take. If Atari under, capture, Atari again, connect. So those stones are taken. That's why earlier it's good to play 019 in Sente. So when you play here to threaten his eye shape, he'll defend, and then you do the bamboo, and now, oh wait, now it's a problem with the Atari. My bad. We don't play that exchange anymore, just here. But with this move, there's a problem with the cut and a push and push again and Atari or connect. So everything dies. Therefore, that's quite the comeback. So what black should do here is just connect with bamboo and give up the stones in the top. But it's still a huge minus to lose those 5 stones, and white rescues the 4 stones. So at this stage, white is actually winning the game. But luckily, black played an Atari and white was supposed to catch 1 stone. If Atari again, connect, there's a double Atari coming, so black needs to protect, and then white should be safe. Yeah, nothing to worry about with this group. But white played a double Atari, he completely missed the Atari on his stones, and all of a sudden, black is back in the game. So that makes it a roller coaster. First, black loses the top, now comes back in the middle, so white has to stay safe. This stone is not such a big capture. Actually, right now, should make a bamboo to save the tail and give up only the stones in the top. Then, instead of capturing 1 stone here, it's more interesting to just protect the bottom side against an invasion with this kind of move, or for example play a Kosumi threatening to escape from that stone and kill the entire left side. White will take, then play a Keima, white will connect, then simply play endgame moves like that in Sente, maybe a Peep. That stone in the middle can even die on a larger scale. So this means black can win the game by more than 5 points. So very impressive. So first of all, black could kill the whole left side, but it didn't happen. Then the middle top area was supposed to be black, now it's white. And then these stones in the middle were whites, but they died. Okay. Now all these center moves. Yeah, that was a good catch. And it's always good for black to play here, because it's center. If white plays other moves, black takes this guy and captures everything back. So those are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 points you could rescue in center. Pretty big. That was big too. This move doesn't do much. Black can play here, white needs to capture, and then black can go Atari, which white can also play in center, or Hanen connect. Okay, black took that point. These two, very good. The Atari also. That's fine. Actually here white can play Nobi to make more points. These 2 points. But now it's kind of finished. Yeah, very good to block at b16. Everything center. Alright. This move is not necessary. Why would you play that? So let's say black plays here. If white goes Atari, you connect. If white goes down, you play Atari. If white Atari, you capture, so you got two eyes in the top, and he has less than 1. But anyway, I mean, even after the neutral points are filled, so let's say White plays this one, and white also plays this one. Let's check the tsumego. So Atari, take. If this one, Atari. Oh, this can be a seki. I'm sorry. So after the neutral points are filled, you need to play a move inside. I mean a capture. But anyway, you're not in danger of dying. Seki can just lose a few points. But the thing is, you don't need to play here right now. You play at the end, and it's better to capture the stone. That was important. More endgame moves. Yeah, very exciting game. Yeah, the small end game actually was quite on point. Both black and white played the right moves. No big mistakes. But the big mistakes were allowing this group in the top left to survive with the extra push that black could block and just win the semi. And also the capture in the top right. So black actually made two big mistakes and white made only one big mistake where he missed the Atari, and that was enough. But black got this nice territory on the bottom, so obviously black had more territory even after all these trades. Impressive victory, and keep up the good work in the league. Enjoy the review.